welcome to another edition of the Quick Picks show on bookmakers.com TV. It's myself, Dean Ryan, joined by the regulars and some infrequent guests, as Colm Phelan isn't always here, but he's back this week. Welcome, Colm. Darren Hughes is back, of course. Charlie Mullan is also back. And we're going to have 4 picks from the panel here on the Quick Picks show, including myself with the host, Banker. We're going to cover horse racing in the UK. We'll have some NFL, of course, including Jim Coventry from rotowire.com. And we'll be focusing on the World Cup 2022 in Qatar. Okay, let's kick off after an 8-1, massive 8-1 plus 800 winner last week on UK horse racing with the winner of the Old Hennessy, Lemilos. Darren is going to kick us off on horse racing.
Yeah, nothing quite as sexy as that this week, but it's a horse I've tipped up on the podcast before. We're heading to Aintree for their Beecher meeting, and at half one they have the Manny Clouds chase over 3 miles, and it's a horse again, as I said, I've tipped up on this podcast or this show before, in the shape of a Hoy Senior. Look, if you were backing him on the basis of his weather-be comeback now, you'd want your head checked. It was particularly poor effort, but just was from the second they jumped off that day, it was never happy. He jumped the first 2 fences fine, but just couldn't get into a rhythm. Was taken on for the lead by some Yakoviok, if I remember correctly. It might have been Paint the Dream, who just wasn't up to that level. So don't think that was a Hoy Senior at all. If I remember correctly, he did something very similar last year on his return run. He was at Carlisle. Now he ended up unseating, but he was beating all ends up when he did. And after that, he went on to be a graded animal. So I think he's the best horse in this race here, by a bit of a distance. Conflated is entered and declared. Now, I'd be surprised if the horse rocks up here, but we shall see. But even if he does, I'm not overly concerned. Aintree, left-handed flat track is always Senior's, pretty much his version of heaven. So at about 2-1 or plus 200, I think he's a smashing bet. I think he's a Gold Cup contender, and he'll prove it here on Saturday.
Okay, keeping the faith with Ahoy Senor is Darren Hughes in that Many Clouds chase Saturday, 1:30 p.m. UK time, around the 2-1 or plus 200 marker. Looking to follow up winner that he gave us last week. We're going to skip over to NFL now. We're staying at home though, because Colm Phelan's got an NFL bet.
Yes, been going back to the NFL this week, and I'm going with a double or a parlay. Both teams are playing on Sunday night, and it pays just under 3-1 at 14-5 or plus 280. So I'm going to start off with the red hot Minnesota Vikings. They're hosting the New York Jets. I'm backing the Vikings against the spread here, which is minus 3 points. The Jets, admittedly, they're coming off a dominant win against the Bears, but I wouldn't hold too much stock in that at all. The Bears have gutted their defense to accumulate draft picks, and they're without several starters, including their QB1, Justin Fields. So, yeah, look, might quite look good there. But we've seen this story with him before. I think it's going to come crashing down to earth. They have a few good pass catchers, but their running game has been decimated, and they can't control the clock. I think they're going to struggle. On the other side, the Vikings are one of the winningest teams in the league this year. They're 9-2. Kirk Cousins often plays well when he's not playing in prime time. They'll be better rested than their opponents, having played in Thanksgiving. I don't think their record reflects how good they actually are, but I do think that with home advantage and being up against technically the backup Jets quarterback, I can see them getting the job done while giving up a field goal here.
Okay.
The next leg of this is going to be over 52.5 points in the Chiefs versus Bengals. Over the last 4 matchups, the Chiefs have put up point totals of 26, 30, and 27, with the Bengals totting up 37, 42, and 32 over that same period. They're arguably the 2 best offenses in the league. The Bengals should have star players Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon back. Chiefs quarterback, MVP favorite, Patrick Mahomes, he usually rises to the occasion, so I'm expecting a bit of a shootout. Chiefs defense can be a bit rocky, and while the Bengals have improved on that side of the ball, they've not really faced anyone of this caliber. So look, over 52.5 points is usually a lot to ask, but not for these teams if history is anything to go by. The double pays 14-5 or plus 280, and I think it has a great chance of paying dividends this weekend.
Okay, the Vikings then to overcome the spread, -3, giving up a field goal, as Colm has told you, and over 52.5 points in the Chiefs against the Bengals. That's the double from the NFL from Colm Phelan. Well, we're going to stick with the NFL because we're heading over stateside to our friend Jim Coventry at rotowire.com.
I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys -11 over the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the one thing with Dallas is they have the top pressure rate in the league, while the Colts are a bottom 5 pass protection unit. Those numbers are per Pro Football Focus. Now, Matt Ryan is one of the most hypersensitive quarterbacks in the league to pressure, and as soon as he sees pressures, the mistakes start piling up. Dallas is also top coverage in the secondary, so Ryan not only will be be short on time, but he's going to have a very difficult time getting the balls to his receivers when he's not getting sacked. Also, Dallas comes into this game with extended rest after playing at home on Thursday the week prior. Meanwhile, the Colts travel on a short week in which they played on Monday night. The style makes the fight here. Dallas is going to score plenty of points. The Colts will have no answer in terms of protecting Ryan. Dallas wins this one 31-13.
Okay, welcome back to the Quick Pick Show on bookmakers.com. Our thanks go to Jim Coventry there at rotowire.com. We are now heading to World Cup action. Charlie Mullan is back on the Quick Pick Show. And Charlie, you're going to look at the Netherlands against the USA.
Yeah, I am, Dean. Saturday afternoon kickoff here in the UK, 3 p.m. Massive game for both countries. I think the Dutch, they've looked very good in this tournament so far. I'm expecting a cagey affair when these two sides go head-to-head on Saturday, like I said. So many of the matches in this World Cup have been cagey, low-scoring affairs. Of the first 40 matches played, under 2.5 total goals has been a winning bet 26 times. That's 65% of matches under 2.5 goals has landed. It's landed in all 3 of the United States matches and also in 2 of the Netherlands 3 matches played so far. And with the quarterfinal place up for grabs in Qatar, I'm expecting both sides to show a lot of caution and be very patient in their approach to this game. So under 2.5 goals. And like I said, Netherlands, they've impressed me so far this tournament so far. And in Cody Gakpo, I think they've got a real star for the future. He scored in each of the Dutch sides 3 matches in the group stages. And I'm expecting the Netherlands to win and under 2.5 total goals. And that's available at 11-4 or plus 275, Dean.
Okay, Team USA might struggle against the classy Dutch, but like you say, it could be cagey. So Holland at Netherlands to win and under 2.5 goals in that last 16 game on Saturday. Now, I'm sticking with the World Cup for the host banker. We had a winner again last week, of course, with Argentina overcoming Mexico, thanks to a little bit of Messi magic. England face Senegal now in evening kickoff on Sunday. That's at 7 p.m. UK time. And Gareth Southgate's got big problems, but they're great problems to have because it's who does he start? Everyone up front, apart from Harry Kane, has pretty much been on the score sheet. And how many defenders will he play? Knowing Gareth Southgate quite a lot. And I think he'll go pretty defensive against Senegal, knowing that the lads up front, whichever ones he picks or brings off the bench, will likely get a goal or 2 to see them through. I think backing England to keep a clean sheet is pretty sensible. They have in the last 2 games. And I think they win the game in 90 minutes. It might not be by a big score, 1 or 2. They'll probably do them safely into face either France or Poland. So that's on Sunday night. England to win to 0 is a 6-5 chance or a plus 120 if you're punting in the States. And that's the host bankers this week. So my thanks go to Darren, Colm, Charlie, Jim at rotowire.com. And all the bets are on your screen. Now, if you're getting involved this weekend, best of luck. We'll be back next week with the Quick Pick Show from bookmakers.com.